a shrine. The door, hovers open for a while. Yes. Or he can close it, but apparently he was in a rush. He goes in. He reaches into a cage and pulls out a fluffy bunny.
Okay.
And goes over to a bunch of implements, and the bunny's kind of squirming, and he's... Quiet! He grabs a knife and goes over to the bowl. He dips the knife into some sort of ink that he keeps beside the bowl, and the knife tip seems to go in and out of view.
Really?
Master of the Aether, are you there? And he slices open the bunnies. He actually has to do it a couple of times to get the blade to go through. The bunny's screaming, and then he's bleeding the bunny into the bowl.
Okay.
You chose the wrong profession.
Master of the Aether, are you there?
What is this disturbance again?
I have questions for you, Master. Questions that must be answered.
Your disturbances are getting frequent. What do you want? I am busy with my experiments.
I wish to know where I can find such a sample as we discussed before. Certainly there must be one that we can use to verify against.
You do not need a sample to verify its genetic structure. You need to find something that is of pure axiomatic power. It will react to this. Or if you do not worry about destroying the sample, you can use something that is anarchic. Surely you elves must have such a thing.
Yes, I will have to go and speak to the archivist. Thank you, Master. You are both, and you get a sense that the magic runs out.
Yeah, I'm heading out.
He just tosses the dead bunny into a basket and puts the tool down, and then wanders out of his little back room area. Take my mind off of things.
Master. Like I dismiss it.
Yep.
And I'm like, Master, I've returned.
Apprentice, have you returned with the samples that I have asked you to acquire?
Of course. Here you are.
Prepare the slides. We shall use the scope to analyze them.
At once.
Check to see if there are any irregularities. Irregularities with their blood types.
Right.
I shall perform the ritual.
I'm familiar with what he's saying, ritual.
Yeah, he's got this weird magic that he casts and some weird devices where he is able to magically project some Dana strands that are hidden inside of the blood samples.
Of course, Master. I will learn that. You said
muted,
you'll teach it to me.
He will cast MRI.
That's
Okay.
not MRI.
he casts a spell, and there's some things, and you notice that he writes in his logbook, and he thinks about things for a while, and it's a couple of hours, but you find this work really interesting. He then sits down. He seems kind of disturbed by something.
What is it, Master? These things usually calm you down. You seem a little agitated. Did I do something?
No. It appears that these creatures, these lesser beings, are not having the same sort of genetic degeneration that are experienced from the samples we have collected from random populace here in Myth Loros.
So currently our DNA is going to the shitter while theirs isn't?
Yes, that's what he's saying.
Well, perhaps, do we know if the sun effect, perhaps, or is there some underlying...
What variables are different? We live within the mythal, they do not. The mythal keeps us strong, but at what cost?
So are, like, people losing their hair kind of thing, or...?
No. Your master has a theory. He's been counting the births.
They've been going down.
Ever since they arrived here.
Well, Master, perhaps it's time to expand.
Difficult this is. Many of us old elves do not want to move away from the mythal. Many of us have even prolonged our age to the point where disease would strike us down within months or years of even leaving the mythal.
It would have to be the younger generation. They would have to venture out.
Of which there are so few. We are on the cusp of not having enough strong gene pool to recreate a healthy population, and at the same time we need the young folk to stay here to do vital functions. This problem vexes me and has for decades. Your simple answers are not going to solve this.
Then a replacement for the younger generation.
Yes, that is what the Sojourners are doing without knowing. They are trying to find elves that come here and breed with us that are here.
Or even using, bringing in some of the non-elven races to do some of the activities that the younger races are doing.
He waves away the projections of these weird strand things of Dana.
Or perhaps some kind of mechanisms that can do some of the things that we're doing.
He realized he left the door open to his work lab, and he just waves his hand with the bone thing on his ring. And
you said you'd show it to me.
You are not ready for that yet.
Pouts.
You did good bringing these samples back. At every opportunity that you come across these sentient lesser creatures, you should get samples.
We are heading out again in a month or so.
There's
going to be another meeting. I can collect more. Not sure how many more will be there, but they might be the same samples themselves. Maybe more guards.
Perhaps we could do... If you remember which specimens these samples came from, then maybe you can...
Yes, they're from the leaders, and they're prime bodyguards. I've labeled them. I also have written their colors along with the eye colors and sex.
Yes,
and an estimated age.
It is why I chose you as my apprentice.
I learned from you, Master. So can I see how you learn that? How you do that spell with the deny projection?
You are not ready yet.
Too
Perhaps.
eager.
Perhaps soon. I must think on this. And he glances back to the room where he came from. And you realize he's talking to something that is also running its own experiments. Perhaps there is inspiration that will strike me. He's lying.
Right. If you ever need to talk, the best way to come up with a different idea is to think outside of the tree. I know. We could probably observe how other creatures that may have dealt with something such as this, and have survived, dealt with the problem. Might have to travel to see something like that, perhaps in our history. Maybe something recorded. Something old. Our parents were druids. Nature has a way of dealing with everything. Life thrives no matter what.
Your speech is that of a hopeful, optimistic youth. No, this problem runs much deeper. And when our coronel decides that he is going to merge with a tree and act more fey and dryad than elf, we should not expect help from him.
Does she know about this, or
Yeah.
it's common? She's like slowly.
The coronel in like over 100 years hasn't gotten up from his chair that seems to be growing into the big tree itself.
He poops right into the tree right now.
Sweet.
Just right into the tree.
I like how your mind immediately went to poop.
Well, what's
Somebody's
the first
full of
problem you're
shit.
going to have if you said, okay, don't leave this chair for the next decade? Your first problem is going to be in about 8 hours.
Route number 1 prioritized.
Go. Do not concern yourself with such things. Allow the master to have the master's concern. You can clean up later.
Yes, master.
I have much
Prepare your favorite meal.
I have already eaten. And he kind of just waves off his ring. He carries a ring that allows him to sleep less and not really eat.
I told you can't have that ring on all the time. The next time you go poop, it's going to be really horrible.
Yes. I will eat some dates.
And milk.
He
She
yes.
treats him like a grandfather almost.
I have some distracting work to do before I get back to this. You know that he there are, to pay for his researches, he creates concoctions and potions for some of the lords. You didn't realize that he was creating potions of longevity
potions.
for...
Potions of longevity do what? Do I know this or spellcraft?
Yeah, give me a craft alchemy.
It's a really
Craft
important role,
alchemy.
this one.
So it's going to be 6,
Depending
12.
which rule set's being used, I'm highly interested in what this answer is.
12 plus. It's going to be
Oh,
15.
you're a monster.
15 plus 6, probably 22. So a d20, I'd say a d20 plus 22. Or 25.
12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I can't see it being higher than 18.
Throw in some items. Right, because there's 6, 6, 3. It's 15. Oh, yeah. Oh, crap.
Right.
Well, no. You add your level. You also add your level
So
to it.
that's the second
That's
six.
18, and 3. That's 21.
Okay.
And then put like tools and whatever. Tools and alchemy lab.
Okay. You got a really high int.
Nice 6 int?
Give me a roll.
Alright, I'll say 4 int. 4 int. 40!
It stalls aging.
What's the duration?
Or can minor ones can reverse any aging damage,
Mm.
and then some of them actually prolong your life.
Like, how long does it last?
Anywhere from a year to like dozens and dozens of years.
Wow, and this is my master, and he's the best. It lasts for 100 years.
How do you make them?
Yeah.
Typically, they are made
I know,
in a very barbaric fashion from a drop of blood from 100 elves.
Sorry, so 100 drops?
There needs to be 100 different individuals.
Is there, like, time where people are just constantly getting paper cuts or something?
There are horrible. There was a horrible time, and one of the things that happened during the Dragonrot cataclysms was there were some servants of the dragons that did round up elves and basically use them as spell components.
Ooh. But nothing recent.
Apparently and you know that he's got lots of little servants and that sort of thing. Apparently he is running around collecting samples.
Alright. So she's trying to put this together. He's giving these potions to the warlord as bribes to creatures that don't have the long life that we do.
Mm-hmm.
So, where was the guy sitting? Where was the war chief, the warlord sitting?
He wasn't sitting, he was standing.
He was standing. Wherever he was standing, is there any hair follicles or anything like that? Pick up.
DC 30, and then a 1 on a D6 to see if you dropped a hair. So I'll roll
1d20 plus the fuck.
Wisdom would likely be low.
Yeah,
Not super high. Like let's say a 14.
probably. Yeah.
6 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2, so 13. 20 plus 13.
Nope.
Master just glances at you as you're looking around for something, and then goes about his business.
She was hoping to, if by any chance there was any fur or anything on him that would indicate what he communicated with. But that's not the luck that she got today. How much does she confide into Donnovan?
No, they're your friends. You guys went through the talent thing together.
Okay. Okay.
You know that they're out having a good time after their several-day foray into the forest.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go find them. I don't have any other duties, right?
Yeah, he sends you along.
Okay.
Apparently he wants the lab to himself. Like, the guy works and works and works and works and works and works.
Okay.
He sleeps 2 hours a day.
Yep.
Maybe twice 2 hours a day, but still 2 hours a day. Wow.
Yeah.
What is Broyan doing to Solshar to torment him at the tavern?
Here's a healing potion.
He doesn't. No, he doesn't really torment him. He does still refuse to call him by his name. He calls him Sad Boy. Is his name.
He still refuses to do the woo.
Grumpy.
You're pretty certain by this point he's just refusing to do the woo.
And you know what? That's okay, because sad boys don't get to woo.
Forces his hand. Woo! Woo!
Woo!
Say woo!
Donnovan is trying to save the elven race.
Okay, he's singing songs to woo all the ladies.
Well, he's trying to woo all the ladies, and he's trying to get all the. He's trying to basically he's trying to assist everyone in the bar in achieving what they need. It's not an individualistic thing. This is team effort.
Got it.
And then we whip it out, and then we go around.
All right, so basically, you're singing to the tavern. Rala comes in and she looks concerned. Solshar has spent the last half an hour just staring at his beer that he's only taken a sip from.
She's like,
Broyan is doing pull-ups in the rafters.
Yeah, he's trying to impress the barmaid.
with one arm.
One arm. Why am I still wearing a shirt?
Yes. You
She
stand
like
up.
waves you over and like,
Hello. It was a little like the notes are trail off.
oh, and Marty knowledge religion. Who the hell was he talking to when he slit that rabbit?
Sure.
I'm gonna give me a moment. I'm just gonna find out what it's on average gonna be. I don't have it as a class.
So chances of you investing in it heavily are low. It's not a very religious place.
Okay,
It's just gonna be my
you
int.
you heard him call the creature Master of the Aether.
So it would be knowledge or knowledge arcane. So maybe the only thing I can think of that might relate to it.
Okay.
Oh wait.
Give me a knowledge planes, knowledge arcana, something like that.
I'll give you a knowledge arcana. Donnovan.
Yes. You've come to join us on getting our shine.
I was asking. Do you know something called? Can please keep this quiet. What would you know? Ever heard of something called the Master of the Aether?
Knowledge bleh for Master of the Aether, or for I guess first knowledge bleh. What is Aether?
Sure. Knowledge
Planes?
arcana or planes.
All right, so same thing. So 29 on Aether.
Aether is the stuff between this world and the inner planes.
Okay.
Where ghosts go is the ethereal plane. You're kind of guessing that Aether is the stuff that the ethereal plane is made out of.
Okay, so something in the ethereal. All right, and is there a master of said ethereal realm?
Go ahead.
Again, Arcana or Planes,
Planes.
I assume. 17. Don't know who that is.
No, there's. It's like saying who's the master of fire.
Who's the master of fire? Well, there's lots of people who've mastered fire. It's the ethereal plane, I think. I don't know.
My master communicated with someone from that. Like, please keep this very quiet. He communicated with someone there by sacrificing a bunny, like gutting it, and just speaking out. Nothing responded. Was also doing experiments like him. Anyway, looks like
You have a master who teaches you magic that uses animal sacrifice?
No, I've never seen this before. He didn't know I was there.
Knowledge planes or spellcraft or
Sure.
cult or why are we killing bunnies to? So it sounds like a horrible spell.
He used a dagger, and I think Marty knowledge arcana.
27.
The gods are capricious, and many of them do require sacrifices of animals.
Ah, shit. He used a dagger with a bit of ink that made it almost ghostly or something. He killed, and then he slit the bunny and started speaking.
Maybe he had to pour it into the ethereal. Were you looking into the ethereal at the time?
I wasn't there. I think they was just speaking. I stayed away. I was kind of invisible at the time.
You were invisible at the time.
Yes.
Did this Master of the Ether see you?
I don't think there was...
Highly.
My master didn't say anything afterwards when we spoke.
Well,
Maybe not.
masters are fickle.
There's something else that's been... It's bothering me. I just don't know if it should bother me more or less. But it seems that the master's been creating potions. Specifically longevity potions.
Knowledge for longevity potion.
Oh, he's just trying to think there. He helps you out. It requires our blood. And blood of 100 different elves.
Arcana?
Just explain it to you.
18? Sounds horrible.
Yeah, why would an elf need that? We live long enough as it is.
Where does
Gosh.
the extra time come from?
Does the extra time come? What?
Well, typically, there are stories about creation and destruction and balance in the world, and that you can't make something out of nothing. There's parables of all sorts that basically say that, sound and silence go hand in hand, and thing and nothing go hand in hand. Positive and negative go hand in hand.
I shouldn't, Entropy. No, that's a bad idea. It's a bad idea. And he points up at the rafter that you're doing your push, that Brodian is doing his push-ups from, and casts grease.
Ooh.
The cat made me do it. The cat made me do it. And then he just sits quietly with his beer.
Oh, who did that?
He didn't break his neck.
That was not shiny.
I'm assuming a D6 damage doesn't like kill your character.
No, it does not.
Okay, four damage from the fall.
Oh.
Does anybody giggle?
There's actually a lot of people that are concerned.
Look like a bad fall.
Yep.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Right.
Taken worse. That was not shiny though. Zero shine.
Social.
Oh, I am glistening. What is this?
I'm
Some
glistening.
sort of grease. Sense motive on Solskjaer. He actually rolled really poorly. He's got a 19.
All right. Well, we'll see if I can theoretically beat that.
You roll a d20 and add 2 or something?
I had 1.
Oh, you're not even wise, Ranger.
No, he's not. 13.
Okay.
No.
Solskjaer's just acting weird, like he normally does.
He just looks at him. Words. And shakes his head.
Some of them are so dreadful.
But I'll tell you something. This is what you do when you fall down. Is you pick another rafter and you start doing your pull-ups again. And he goes and he jumps up and grabs it and realizes at the last moment, oh, I should have washed my hands first, and falls down again. Right after I clean my hands.
He just read a rub him on his nipples, like, ah!
Hey, look at me, I'm getting shiny. I can be glistening too.
I don't want to look.
Look at my glistening chest. Look at it.
He looks at it like it's wrong.
You're just jealous, that's all. Woo!
He's shaking his head no. He's not jealous.
Yeah, he's got his greasy hands. He rubs them through his hair and tries to like spike his hair with it.
Okay. Eventually
This
the grease
grease-
just inexplicably goes away. It just kind of...
What the? This is weird night. The Dawn Bond getting stronger though. Woo!
Donovan seems to be in a deep, important, whispery conversation with Rala.
Yep. If the time is conserved, then it needs to come from somewhere. It does feel like it is a fell thing to be doing. You probably should ask about it.
Rala nods.
Perfect. Are all the tables, are all of the sort of any of the tables of coupling look like they're coupling effectively?
Yeah, you're singing and trying to like make sure that everyone's having a good time. You spend a little bit of your coin and give me a perform check as you're singing.
All right. Oh. 25 again.
Okay.
It's just
So it's a decent time. You know that you can do better.
yeah. I could break a 10 on this D20 roll. It could happen.
that
You know,
would
one
be
of these
helpful.
days.
Yep.
Yep. It's the life of every bard. It's
Okay.
every bard I've ever played. It's always been, come on, roll good. It doesn't happen for a while.
So the Sojourners, after your successful mission in setting up a trading post, essentially, with the Venaran, the Catfolk, and that particular Strix, things begin to pan out. They actually send more elves next time. They pay off Strix with bits of silver and colorful beads and some semi-precious stones that he seems to be very happy in receiving. The others seem to enjoy meeting with some of the elven rulers. I could just mute him if we.
There we go.
do.
Yeah, that's. There we go.
There we go. I turned him down as well.
So peaceful. So peaceful. Rala, Donnovan, Broyan, and Solshar seem to have bonded in a way where they went out into the wilderness and they had their first adventure together. The impromptu are called upon more and more often. In particular, there are two that are called upon. Venser calls upon Donnovan, and then who was the woman with the harp?
Leandil?
Leandil. They were selected out of all the others. Apparently, Findame doesn't have the... If you even ask about it, doesn't have the right temperament.
He's a dick.
And the Sojourners aren't interested in employing his services.
Okay.
Because he's a dick.
You know that he's harbored ill feelings towards you since the time when he was...
He would have tried, like,
Yep.
50 times to mend fences.
Findame blames you for not getting the attention that he deserves. And it's maybe about a decade later he quits showing up to basically the impromptu.
Can't help it, I'm just better than you.
He starts to spend a lot of time with House Farrell.
Alright.
There is a day that comes where you and Leandil are asked, or basically you're summoned to court. You were told to basically arrive with your best clothes and best behavior you're going to visit the coronel.
We're going to visit the coronel.
The coronel has summoned you by name.
He knows our names. Wow. We're going to see the chair that he doesn't get off of.
There's the Dryad Queen.
We might even see the queen.
You see some of her handmaidens that also live in the tree. They are lesser dryads that...
Look, they got butterflies in their hair. And really creepy claw faces.
Venser is there because he kind of represents the impromptu as well as the Sojourners, and he's proud that 2 of his students were chosen. And where is the damn coronel? Oh, right, it starts with a C. I'm looking for his actual name. And now, you're going to be on your best behavior. This is the coronel that summons you.
Always.
Of course, I know no other kind of behavior.
I know that
We
you've been
will
spending a lot
shine.
of time with one of Devon's men.
Yes. We have a bond. We will shine.
Well, while the coronel does enjoy Devon's company, I don't know if he'll enjoy any boorish behavior that comes from his disciples. Devon has served the coronel in the past, and has a special place in his court.
Yes, he is an elf of action, so...
Yes. While he is not officially a Sojourner, he is an ally of the Sojourners. And the 2 of you likely have been selected... Well, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I don't want to speak for the coronel. But do know that all of the members of the Sojourners have had an interview with the coronel. This very well could be such an interview. Then again... it could be something else.
Before we step into the room, Donnovan is going to cast a heroism on Dylan himself.
Okay?
Best faces. Smile.
You should prepare yourselves. I'm glad that you were able to bring your hop.
Thank you.
Now,
Your stool. I've got your stool.
Thank you. I really should get a bag for that thing.
now, I'll go find the steward to see when it is that you'll be meeting with the coronel. And he kind of goes off on a fool's errand. There's some mewling coming from the walls.
Oh, look at them. So young.
Yes, and there are creatures that are kind of coming out of the walls to look at you.
Leander bows to them. You must be the queen's handmaidens.
So vital. Yes. So young. They are healthy. Very healthy.
Donnovan Dullahan.
We know who you are. We have heard your song and look forward to hearing more.
I look forward to performing.
The Dryad Queen has her eyes. Well, her eyes and her ears. All of it is on the 2 of you. Make sure that you play beautifully for your tree and your king and queen. Yes, we wouldn't want to displease them. They have such high hopes for the 2 of you.
We are confident in our skills, and we look forward to the challenge. No pressure.
She just kind of inhales deeply, like...
They disappear back into the walls. And finally, there's a part of the wooden wall just sort of opens like a door. You didn't even know it was a door. Donnovan, Dullahan, Leandro, Sorthe. You just hear a voice being announced.
That's
One,
us.
2, 3, and walk. 1 and 2 and 1. Time the walking together. Walk in. Deep bow.
There's the air, and you notice that there is a man sitting on this really large wooden throne, but he's got roots growing out of the throne and into him, and roots from his grand helmet are kind of growing back into the throne, and the throne's attached to the ground like it was grown right out of the rock, and it looks like he's asleep. You notice that the crown prince is also in the room.
Donnovan is wearing the puka shell necklace as part of his
Okay.
formal gear.
There is this weird swirl of greenish leaves that slowly begins to form a woman inside, and outstepping is the queen. Mother, these are the two bards. They've been summoned before father for their interview. She looks down.
Greetings, Your Highness.
Greetings.
She raises a hand, and you notice that there's two big leaves that kind of fly out of her hand, all the way up to where you are. It's like she's holding out her hand to be kissed, but sent leaves in her stead to be kissed.
Okay.
Kiss the leaf.
I will kiss that leaf.
And are you guys bowing, or are you guys?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're on one knee.
There we go.
Father. Rendardi seems annoyed, and he goes and takes out this little wooden rod that he's got beside him, kind of like a rod of rulership kind of thing, and goes and just raps on his father's throne. My apologies, I was having a nap. He's having like the yawn of yawns.
Wow.
It's making me sleepy.
Father, the bards are here for the interview. Yes, bards. And he seems to be kind of like straining against his bonds, and he's sitting up a little bit more in his chair. They're going to play beautiful music for you, husband. Apparently, she doesn't need to. She doesn't need to shout.
Yeah, she's talking through the tree.
Yes, I've been looking forward to this. Play us your best song.
Very, very well. Maybe by this point we've got like a song where I play and he sings and performs, or
Sure, you guys are at the same impromptu bard college, like the same six
yeah.
It's like
students.
which song do you like? It's
Exactly.
it's with
so I'm imagining I auto aid and
Yep.
you can roll for the
I will
performance.
I summon a piano.
Rendarti just kind of hops down from like the dais that his father's throne is on, and he actually just waves his rod, and like a chair comes skittering from across the room and sort of slides underneath him just as he's sitting down into a pose. Like, this is something he must have practiced before.
That's one of those things that you practice at just for this moment so you can show off.
Yeah, exactly. He's dexterous, and then he's got that look at you like he's looking through you and kind of bored, and the right amount of wind in the room, although it's not windy, it's just kind of making his mother, just the crackling of leaves as she's standing there, she's not touching the ground. Like, she's doing that sort of like like dancer toes downwards towards her. There's just winds, like leaves, kind of rattling around her as she's floating in the air, just looking down at you and waiting. Apparently, she can just maintain a perfect pose as she's looking down at the two of you.
Okay.
Coronel Renthil is much more fidgety. He seems to be straining against the roots, almost like the roots want to pull him back into his chair, and you can hear them grinding and twisting and and his breathing. Oh god. It's like everything's a struggle with him. He's like blinking his eyes a few times and like to try to get away sleep, but he's not like wiping his face. You don't even know if his hands could reach his own face.
Okay. I'm going to get a.
Yes, Father. Bards.
So we get out the piano.
Okay.
We get an illusion going behind us.
He yawns a second time as you're setting things up, but he's trying to get into it. He's
trying to get. All right.
The Dryad Mother's just sort of standing there with her leaves kind of crackling all around her, and the cornel heir, the crown prince, seems to start to get bored as you guys are sitting up.
What is the elvish like druid god that no longer functions?
Knowledge, religion.
All right.
We'll use the Forgotten Realms
28.
Elven Pantheon. Rillifain Ralathil is the deity of nature.
Okay. We are going to sing a song about the wood sprite.
Sorry. Apparently there are ads on that fucking website. That was loud. Sorry.
Oh, you're just blowing people's eardrums.
Yeah, stupid ads.
Do you want to buy Javex bleach?
No, it was just some ding ding ding. It was the beginning of your song.
So a song about the wood sprites, and it will be an ode to this old elvish god.
Okay. The god of the woods.
God of the woods. Seems appropriate for the audience.
All right, who is aiding whom? In fact, I'll make it 3 roles. You could do the song in parts if you wish.
But I would like to do it in parts, because...
Okay. Who is taking the lead part in the first segment of your song?
Donnovan.
I think it's Donnovan does the intro, then we have a Lindell solo in the middle, and then there's a big finale. That's what...
Okay.
So I will roll one, then Lindell can roll one, and then yeah. Okay. And we'll just maintain concentration on the background to make it match thematically.
To begin. Yes, Father, the bards are about to begin their song.
All right. The glories, and now we both can auto aid each other. So
Yeah.
The opening.
Okay.
Music happens. 30.
Okay, you begin to sing. Is the song giving praise to Rillifain?
Yes.
What sort of praise is it giving?
Praise to her wonder, mercy, grace, and to the balance that she brings. To live at one with nature, and all the goodly druidly things. Hoping she's a goodly god. If she's not a goodly god, then to the goodly aspects of her nature.
Okay. Rillifain, you feel that there are things that are growing in the room, like plants growing and dying very quickly and kind of blooming. They're like seeds sort of appearing and blooming all around you while you're doing your performance. And pretty soon you and Leandil are covered in flowers.
Okay.
As Rillifain Ralathil listens to your call, and some of the flowers are dropping good berries.
I just read a good berry by singing about good berries. That's awesome.
Please mark down somewhere on your sheet that Rillifain Ralathil was appeased by a DC 30 check.
I will put this on my big boy sheet.
Sure.
Rillifain Ralathil. You're gonna have to fix that at some point.
I will post it in the chat.
I guarantee that the R's are the only correct letters. Right? Rillifain, 2 letters off. Ralathil is just fucking wrong. Less than 50% on that one.
Okay. She's beginning to play, and she's like, "How does this happening?" kind of thing as she begins to play her harp.
Okay. And we're still 6th level, right?
Yep.
We're 6th level. You've got a heroism running, and you're getting a +2 from Donnovan.
All right. And masterwork harp
And a masterwork harp.
and feats.
And you've got feet, so you should be able to really blow this away.
Okay, so
Speaks to the god.
roll a shit.
Oh no!
Roll a 3.
Okay, so you're
What's the
22.
She's kind of like put off, like off balance almost with her playing because of like the spontaneous flowers and the good berries kind of dropping like seeds from them and
Just gotta go with it, baby.
and the coronel seems to be focused on Donnovan and was kind of breathing. I don't know if you heard him saying it, that he was exasperating that Donnovan speaks to the gods, and they listen. Give me a sense motive.
Right. 26.
The queen is not pleased.
Do I know what would make the queen happy?
The king is like gasping and trying to sit up so he can listen and
This is so he is my target audience. The queen is a close second.
and the crown prince is kind of he's glancing over at his parents, like he's also kind of watching the reactions. Her eyes just go wide, and she seems like a tad frightened as to what she's just witnessed. A bard casting a druid spell.
Da 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 da.
All right, so she's not playing very well. You've heard her play much better, and then she kind of buckles down and she begins to play the last part. Are you guys doing each your own role, or are you aiding each other on this last part?
We've been aiding each other the whole time.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah.
All right, Donovan's taking the lead on this one.
Yeah.
And then, are you still singing Rillifain Ralathil's praises, or are you switching gods?
The story of Rillifain Ralathil. Who was she most connected with?
It's a he. It's the
he.
elven god of nature, patron deity of the wood elves. He appears as a green skin-clad elf in bark armor carrying a magic bow that slays any target hit by one of its arrows.
That's a badass bow of don't play around. I used it for target practice. Oh, I just killed Timmy with the blood arrow of mercy.
It's probably an immortal, but
what about a Fey god?
yeah, give me a knowledge religion.
There we go. Uh-oh, 18.
The only one that you know is Titania, the fairy queen.
We're bards, we tell tales. It will be about the day Titania met met and looked kindly upon oh damn it. Elvish names. Rilifane Ralathil. And it will include her in a goodly light. I don't know if she's a goodly god. I'm just...
No, you're doubting whether even Ralathane is... He's on good terms with the Seldarine, but he's probably a neutral god. You've probably called out to two neutral gods in this.
Well, oops. That's fine. As long as they got good worshippers, it's alright. We don't really know. I'm making this shit up as I go along anyway. It's all good. So it'll be of the time of the meeting.
Of who meeting?
Rilifane Ralathil meeting the fairy princess.
Okay.
And of their terms. All right. Don't fail me now. 31. Which my best roll is a 10 so far. Just so we're all clear. Best thing I can do is a plan.
Okay. You tell the tale of Titania coming across Rilithane and what happens when the two gods meet.
Mm-hmm. What happened?
Happens?
What happens?
Yes.
They came across as foes, undetermined of each other's paths, but then came to know that together they were stronger and could overcome that which was destructive and evil. Teamwork conquers all. One of those sorts of messages.
The king looks over at the queen. The queen smiles a pursed-lipped smile.
Oh, she didn't like it.
But there are weird fairy motes that are now dancing around your head.
Yes.
And you begin to glow with a fairy fire.
Maybe they didn't like it. They kind of hit me with that. It's very cool, though. Titania, the fairy princess, appeased DC 31.
The coronel's looking at you, and so is your harp playing partner. You notice that Rendarti almost looked interested in the story that you told, and then looked really bored.
He thinks I'm cool. He's just pretending.
I've had enough, Father. As your song comes to an end. Are they Sojourner quality or not? Yes, this one is special. They are both Sojourn material. If they swear allegiance and fealty to their coronal. So be it, husband. Have your sojourners. They can go and walk the places that you no longer can. And she glances down at you and then turns into a swarm of leaves again. Which rattles off angrily kind of into the corner of the room.
Sense motive?
Sure.
Angry bees.
32. Hey, look, there's a good roll. She's a happy lady.
I'll go see if one of the Sojourners is here. Yes. Yes. I believe that they need